how you doing? Mondays, huh? How's your week been doing so far? How's your health? I just got back from work and I happened to catch some of the daylight, so I'm going to make this a quick video before the sun sets. Okay? Right, so today's video is going to be about the effects, or the ethics more like, of the social media and people's treatments towards celebrity, but especially the media, right? So before I dive into this, I wanted to say thank you first of all, because my last video apparently you guys really loved, which is, I mean, it's a shocker because it's right here, like I am right now, and it was an impromptu video just like this one. I just thought, let me catch them up to my life, let me, you know, put them up to speed on what's going on. And you enjoyed the vibe, you thought it was very personal, so thank you for that. Thank you for the feedback I got. I appreciate it. Please feel free to leave me more suggestions, right? So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, right, so I don't know how many of you guys actually watch Love Island. It is a UK reality TV show, and it's all about, like, you know, matching up couples and then finding the perfect match, and then the winners winning some prize money, right? It's also spreading out to other countries. I've been watching Love Island since it started. I think 2015 was when it came back, and I started watching in the UK and I got used to it. The presenter of the host, Flack, who is literally, how do they say it, part of the furniture of that show, just died last weekend. She committed suicide. Right now, here are a few facts. A few things people were saying were the reasons why she committed suicide or killed herself was because of the charges against her. She's being charged with assault against her boyfriend, attempted murder, I think she was charged with. And even though the boyfriend did not want to press charges, in the UK that's not how it works. In the UK, crimes are against the state, not against an individual. So if someone tries to kill you, even if you don't want to prosecute, the state is going to prosecute, because it's like, you've done wrong against the state, you can kill any one of us. So that's how it works in the UK. So the case was going forward and other things. Now I started reading into the thing. I mean, just actually just scrolling on the internet and just see, oh, Flack, oh, RIP. I'm thinking, what? First of all, what is life? How trivial is this life, and how fickle that someone who was here, she's gone. She was 40 years old, and it's just insane. But then you begin to read all these messages, right, and articles, and you begin to see a lot of people who are now casting blame onto the media, and their opinion is like, media, don't come here and start acting nice, don't come here and start pretending that, you know, you like this woman or you give her any recognition for her work and her professional career at all. Now she's dead, you want to start singing her unsung praises? It's a little too late for that. And there are comparisons drawn between her and what happened to her and what happened to Mrs. Diana in the 90s and what happened to Amy Winehouse in the 2000s. And the whole idea is the media sometimes can portray celebrities to be objects, right? They're not people who have a say or who have feelings, and so you pursue, you aggravate, and it's almost like they feel, because they have given you this level of importance, right? Because ultimately you become a celebrity by people feeding into your hype, right? Your market, your whatever. And so they feel there's an entitlement from people in the public to celebrities' lives and stories, right? And as I said, this was one of the reasons actually I was terrified to start YouTube in the beginning, which is again ironic, because it's not something you just blow overnight. So, but I was scared of the people. You know, I'm a very private person. I was scared of people feeling entitled to my story or what's going on in my life or information, and it's like, it's not yours to have only because I'm sharing some parts of my life. I don't have to. But generally she was constantly dragged All she was ever really known for apparently was for being a cougar, because she used to date younger men, and every single thing about her was just about being a cougar and how she dated younger men and dated Harry Styles and this and that, and there was no accolades given to her for the hard work she had put in. So that's one part, the media's part. And ironically, now all of a sudden, surprise surprise, the Sun newspaper is now desperately pulling down articles that they wrote about her, you know, things diminishing her, making her feel shit, just terrible articles. They're pulling it down. Apparently there are so many error pages now in the Sun because they're desperately trying to cover their tracks, even though I'm actually not even sure if there's really a thing or a claim to be made against them. Sure, they do look bad, it doesn't portray you in the best light at all, but I don't know that there's any like legal consequences against them, but that's happening. And that also goes to show you that even if there might not be any legal consequences, they are very much aware of the moral consequences. The Sun magazine and any other newspapers are doing the same thing, and it's just crazy because you watch this kind of thing and you watch videos of even YouTubers, right, who I still subscribe to, like the Ace family, for example, or James Charles, people who talk about how, you know, they have fans, you know, or subscribers breaking into their houses, demanding their time. If they say things like, oh, I'm tired today, please don't come to my house, you'd hear parents say to them, oh, that's nonsense, you can't send my kid away, you know, like, we made you, statements like that. And there's now a serious danger, and apparently direct one, to people's lives. So that's one part, the media's complicitness in this, in her death, right, or any celebrity's death. The other part is friends and family, so the people like us. So I went through her Instagram, as I do, because I get this is it just me? I guess this morbid curiosity when you hear about someone's death. You just want to find out what happened, especially if the person is young. Like if it's an older person, I don't get too curious, but if you're young, I'm just thinking, what happened? So I was reading through her pages to find out, like, when did this happen? And a few months back, she had already been writing tweets about, Instagram posts about how, you know, she feels down, mental health awareness. This is why a lot of people don't talk. She said she told one of her friends, she was telling them how she felt, and the person actually said to her that she's draining, right? And when you read this, when I read this, my first instinct was to say, you see, this is why, you know, friends should take as much blame they should, you know, they should be there for each other. And at the same time as well, I was a bit pissed off, because you know, seeing a lot of celebrities coming out now, everybody's, you know, celebrating her life, and they always do this, right? You celebrate someone's life after they've died. And my first thought is, where were you guys when she needed you? You were probably the person who she spoke to, and you said she was draining. Where were you then? Like, why are you coming out now when you can't do nothing to help her? But at the same time, I started thinking of when I was in college, right? So I was in this college, and there was this guy who I had a crush on at the time. He was Polish, very good looking guy, honestly, like beautiful. The word is beautiful, really. He was a beautiful person, and so we became friends. We used to talk in the beginning, and then I noticed at first that he had like a inferiority complex, right? So you say something random like, oh, just what are you doing today? Hanging out with your friends? And he say something like, oh, I wish I had friends, ha 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 ha. All my people I know just do things without me, things like that. At first, my reaction was, oh my god, that's so cute. Like, look at this incredibly good-looking guy who is so humble and doesn't really know how good-looking he is. Aw, so sweet. After a point, it became, is it really possible this guy doesn't know, or is this a fake humility, or like, it was now more of disbelief on my path, like, surely he can't really think this. And after a point, it became draining, you know. That's where it ended up being. And then I cut off conversation with him because I felt like every conversation I have with him just pulls down my energy, and I leave it feeling shit about my life, shit about your life, shit about life in general. And I don't want to keep having these conversations. And so when I was in my judgment Judy mode when I was thinking all celebrities who are coming out now and voicing out their sadness and anger towards the newspapers and the tabloids and the media for, you know, for what's her name, Caroline's death. Well, you guys before, but at the same time I was thinking, is it possible that that could have been the same conversation someone was trying to have with you, Chantel, years ago, and you too felt a bit drained? Like, honestly, I don't know if it's just coincidence, because I felt like a part of me just felt like where is the win here? I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the friends she had, who she may have been calling maybe months at a time, or continuously, and every conversation back to back was about how depressed she was, how she felt like she was under a cloud, how she didn't want to live, maybe things like that. And I'm just thinking, what would I have done in that situation? And everybody wants to think that when they're in that situation, they're going to jump into hero mode and do it. But I mean, I know people on a daily basis here who have friends who are posting stuff like that, and the general idea or the general consensus is, oh, she's seeking attention. That's the general consensus. It's not really, oh, let's help her out. It's like, this girl is seeking attention. And so I don't really know then how to balance this out. And really, you don't really know who to cast the blame on. Can you cast the blame then on the media, who had been bashing her whole career and giving her no recognition for the work she had done professionally? Like, before Love Island, she's been on Strictly Come Dancing, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. She even co-hosted once X Factor with Olimers. So she's been on this scene. But apparently at the point when you googled Queen of the Cougars, only Caroline Flack came up. So there was more than just a media hatred. It almost seemed like a corporate technological thing and vendetta against her if Google did something like that, you know what I mean? So on one hand, are you going to blame the media? Are you going to blame, I don't know, the friends who she tried to speak to and you know, they weren't there? Are you going to blame the Crown Prosecution Services for doing their job and prosecuting the case they thought had merit? Are you going to blame her for, I don't know, actually first of all committing the crime against her boyfriend, or not speaking to a professional, or what? But when it comes to cases like suicide, it's not anything Africans, black people especially, talk about, because the general consensus again is black people don't commit suicide. Yeah, that's weak people shit. It doesn't happen in the black community, but that's, first of all, that's false, and that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. This idea that black people are invincible and completely immune to mental health issues is a fallacy. It is a dangerous thing to be propagating, and honestly, it's fatal. Yeah, because there'll be black people who are thinking, I need help, and they can't go to help. And I'm going to call myself out too. Even when I speak to my black friends and they say things like, oh, they're going to therapy, my first reaction is like, okay, you know. And that is because already I've caught myself not to make a joke of it like I would have years ago, because it's just a joke, really. It's not really meant to be a malicious thing. It's just meant to be like, oh, come on now, like it's never that serious. You're depressed. Okay, which one is depression? You know. So I just catch myself like, my first instinct or my first emotion is surprise, like, okay. And I'm working on that myself, and I think this is something the black community should work on. Between ourselves, within ourselves, we have problems just like any other race. And it is okay to acknowledge them and to address them head on. It is okay to not brush them under the rug and just say, oh, black people don't get depressed. Black people don't suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Black people don't do... No, black people do everything. And in fact, when you say things like that, you're also propagating the stereotypes against black people that keep us down. But look now, I've gone a whole... it's a whole tangent out. I'm going to wrap this up. But my point is, if you take only key things from this message, it's that, one, we need to be careful how we say things to people, even the jokes we tell. We need to be careful of everything, because we don't know what it is you're saying to someone. Like, that might be the last drop in the cup that they already had, that was already like one drop less to overfilling, and that your drop was all it was that knocks it over, right? It's not really about who started, it's about the contributing factor that led to the end result. We need to be careful about what we're contributing to people's lives so that they do not feel depressed or worthless or unimportant. We also need to be careful how we speak to our friends. You know, friends, you always hear these memes like, oh, friend will tell you, oh, you look nice. The best friend will be like, ah, why do they look like that? Something like that, you know, that the best friends, or the idea of being their best friends or closer families or closer bonds are permitted to be more insulting and joking. And fair enough, you know, there's a case for that, because I mean, I am in that case. But my point is, you need to be careful as well who you're speaking to. It's not just about friendship or who's your close friend, who's not your close friend. You should be careful because some people are more sensitive, and more than that, you should be careful because you don't even know when your words might impact someone who's quote unquote on a normal day not a sensitive person, but at that moment it just happened to hit the wrong way and you have broken their spirit. And it's really, really, really difficult to reveal the spirits you break. Okay? And the third thing is don't fit into stereotypes, right? Don't fit into any stereotype like, one, celebrities are not important, or because you have given them the time of your day by watching them and making them feel important and useful and essentially helping and aiding their career and their wealth, that therefore you are entitled to say whatever it is you want to say. That is not the case. It's just no. And I really wish in moments like this, where someone has been driven to a point of desperation and lack of, like, completely zero self-worth based on comments and the hatred and meanness of people outside, that at points like these people who have left these trollish comments on the person's page, I hope their comments get highlighted and it just sticks out to them, like, I did this, I wrote this, I threw that stone. Like, you should take accountability for the things you have done in the past as well. Sometimes you leave comments in moments of anger, you know, on someone's page. Take accountability, because you don't know, you keep thinking they have so many comments, might not see yours, they might, yeah, and it might be yours that's just gonna make them cry. So be careful about that. And don't fit into any other stereotypes like black people don't have any mental illness problems or anything like that, or don't feel depressed. If you feel you're in that position or in that mindset and you need help, sometimes you may have to go outside your friends, right? Because like I said, sometimes friends do not mean maliciously, but they say things that do not help and actually aggravate your problems more. Be careful of that. But that's all for this video. Quick updates if you're seeing it. My skin has gone even madder. There's a new one there. There's one there on my forehead. Do you know what it is? Every time I come to the camera, it looks like nothing is happening. But in the week between the videos I film, it's not this clear. Like this, it's not. So I'm still working on that. Updates: I found a house. We are, you know, putting it together at the moment. So please pray for us that everything goes smoothly, because I need to be out of where I am in a few short days. Yeah. So pray for that. And also, I thought I'd introduce a new little column to this, my little window personal thoughts, and it's like a phrase or quote of the day, and not just anything random, but something that actually means something to me. So I have two quotes, but I think I'll just give you one. Nah, I'll give you two of them. Why not? So the first one came from this new J. Cole little video thing. People are saying it's actually like a skit for, like, I don't know, an advert or something, for MBUs or whatever, I don't know, but I love J. Cole. I can't remember the name of the skit, but it was something, yeah? And one of the lines in the song the person said was, slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time. And I think that's very important, because for me especially, like, sometimes I get carried away and I want to jump ahead of my shadow, and I'm thinking I should be farther than I am. And it's silly even saying it, even as I speak to you now, because I'm thinking I just got a new job. Why do you think you should be even more ahead? But I think that, you know, it crosses my mind, because I'm thinking maybe I'm an overachiever, maybe I feel like I should do more, maybe because I can see so much potential for growth in the office where I am. But I'm thinking, come on, Chantel, you can be higher than this. So I keep feeling a bit like low, or a bit like I'm not doing enough, or, you know. But I keep reminding myself to just do enough every day, you know. Go back and evaluate how my day went. Do not beat myself up if it wasn't as useful as I wanted it to be, and make the next day better. And realize that I can't be everything I'm supposed to be before my time. Do you understand? Like, you know when they say things like you can have it all but not at the same time? It's one of those. So I'm learning to pace myself and, you know, grow in patience, which is not my strongest suit, I have to say. I'm not the most patient person. I'm not sure what test it is. I'm learning to grow in patience and understanding of this, and letting not beat myself up too much, but also learning to push myself at the same time. There's a good balance with that. But that's the phrase. And the second one is sort of tied to this, but propelling it. And it says, whatever you do in life, do it on purpose. Okay, so do not do things accidentally. Do not stumble into success or stumble into failure. Get there on purpose. And that's from every decision, from the smallest ones. If you intend to wake up by 6 a.m., don't just manage. You don't just just woke up, boy. It happens to be 6. It's 6:05. Set your alarm. Wake up at the time you intend to wake up, but be intentional about everything you do, everything you eat, everywhere you go, everything you read, everything you think about. Be intentional. Do it on purpose. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up. I thought it was going to be shorter. I don't know what it is, but when I sit and talk to you guys, I talk longer. Yeah, that's a problem. But thanks guys for this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down below, because actually this is a video that's meant to be very interactive, so I want to hear what you guys think about the main topic of the day and any of the side things I mentioned. Nice to see you guys again. Till next week.